Hey, how are you? Hope you're doing awesome. I just wanted to tie together a few of the things that I've done a video about. The other day I did one about what is your fear and addressing fears and how they can really slow all of us down, and that when we make decisions out of fear, they are rarely the correct ones. Then last week I talked about building trust with your clients and how we come about doing that. And I quoted a Simon Sinek saying, where he talks about building trust actually isn't through doing things for others, but it's through asking them to do things for you. I think kind of the idea of teaming up as humans is really what builds trust rather than doing for others. Not that serving is bad, it's very good, but I thought that was really interesting take on trust. And then last week I did another video, or maybe it was even 2 weeks ago, doesn't matter when, about fake or belief. And the idea behind that one was the concept of fake it till you make it versus actually believing in what you're doing and operating out of that belief, rather than just trying to fake your way through it until you get there, and that people actually can tell the difference between when you're faking things and when you believe in what you're doing. I read a statistic, I didn't read it, I heard a statistic that first impressions are made within the first 1.6 seconds, and I can almost guarantee you that when you're operating out of your belief system rather than faking it, someone's going to pick up on those cues. And then they went on to say that it takes another 3 hours of FaceTime to change someone's mind from whatever that impression was in the first 1.6 seconds. So let that soak in for a second. Really very important to be genuine, in my opinion. So now the question might be, what in the world do those three things have to have in common? Fear, trust, belief. What do they all have in common? Well, I really want you to consider this. It's kind of been a buzz for a while, but this idea of self-awareness and what is your why. If you haven't listened to anything from Simon Sinek, I definitely recommend that you do, S-I-N-E-K. But I want to speak to a minute specifically to realtors about how those three things tie in. This business, as many other jobs, is very, very, very difficult. It's stressful, it's hard. Realtors don't get paid until they close. You can work with someone for months and months and never get it done. Get all the way up to the closing table and it not finish, and you literally not get paid for all that time spent. And that kind of pressure and stress and difficulty and challenge can make this business really, really hard. Now, don't get me wrong, when it closes, it's typically very rewarding and it can be a very good way to make a living. However, it can be really, really hard and the pressure is massive. And so I would say to you that if you don't know what your why is, if you don't believe in what you're doing and why you're doing it, are you doing it to serve the public? Are you doing it because of some experience you had and you want to make sure no one else has that experience? Are you doing it because you want to be successful at this particular business? What is your why? You better believe in it, because if you don't, you're going to be fearful, you're going to struggle, and you're going to be fearful anyway. We're all fearful, we're humans. And overcoming that fear is a little bit easier when you know what your why is and you believe why you're doing it. And when those two things happen and you're less fearful and you're making good quality decisions for yourself and your clients, and how you handle your leads and open houses and all of that, when you are more genuine from inside of here and you know why you're doing this and you know what your motivation is, and those things help you overcome your fear, then the trust factor kicks in. That ability to connect with someone on a genuine, straightforward quick basis, that 1.6 seconds that is so crucial, I would say to you that the more grounded you are in here and in here, the better off you're going to be to your client. You're going to serve them better. You're going to feel better about it. They're going to feel better about you. And that trust, that ability to build that relationship, that ability to ask them to engage with you and to help you. You know, you're asking them to help you with your why, because we can't make any money in this business if we don't have a relationship with the clients. Because if we don't have a relationship, guess what they do? They go talk to 5 other realtors, and they work you, and they work that other realtor, and they work around, and they work around, and you may end up losing the business. Now, you might lose it anyway. People are people, and they do things for all sorts of different reasons. But I want you to think a minute for how it might impact your ability to convert and be successful when you believe what you're doing, you know what your why is, and you're able to create a genuine trust with your clients based on those things, dwelling on it, working on it, maybe even sharing it with them, you know, because by sharing it with them, you're being very open. And then after you share, then you're asking them, you know, will you work with me? Will you help me achieve that? If that isn't trust building, I don't know what is. And if trust building is important in your business, I'm pretty certain that that is something that will set you apart. So I think this is an amazing business. I love being a realtor and a broker. I hope that if you're watching this, that you have a passion for it too. And if you have a passion for it, I really think those things are super important to meditate on, to figure out, to journal about, to visit with someone else, to create some kind of a accountability for yourself. You know, operate out of your why. Don't operate out of fear. Work with your clients, your buyers, and your sellers because they deserve it. And quite honestly, because you deserve it. Because you're special and you're awesome. And we all need to succeed and pay our electric bill. So I hope that that's been encouraging to you today. I really want you to think about your belief system, your why, and how you can build trust through those 2 things. Have an awesome day, and I hope to talk to you soon.